Have you ever wondered what you, your dog, and a giant tree all have in common? It's something so small you can't even see it without a special tool. The answer is cells. A cell is the smallest, most basic building block of all living things. Think of them like tiny Lego bricks. You can use Legos to build a small car or a giant castle. And in the same way, cells build everything from a tiny ladybug to a giant blue whale. Every living thing you can think of is made up of these incredible little structures, working together to make life happen. It's an amazing idea when you stop and think about it. Everything that is alive is made of one or more cells. Some living things, like bacteria, are just a single cell doing everything it needs to survive all by itself. These are called unicellular organisms. But bigger, more complex living things, like people, plants, and animals, are made of trillions of cells working together as a team. These are called multicellular organisms. Each group of cells has a special job to do. Some cells help you breathe, some help you think, and others help your heart beat. All these different cells cooperate to keep the whole organism healthy and functioning properly every single day. Without cells, there would be no life as we know it. They are like tiny, bustling cities, full of activity. Inside each one, important jobs are being done all the time. They take in food, create energy, get rid of waste, and even make copies of themselves so living things can grow and heal. When you get a cut on your skin, it's your skin cells that get to work, dividing and creating new cells to patch up the injury. This constant work is happening inside you right now, and it's what makes you, well, you. It's the foundation of all biology. Understanding cells is the key to understanding life itself. When we study cells, we can learn how living things work, why they get sick, and how we can help them get better. From the smallest germ to the largest forest, cells are the stars of the show. They are the fundamental units that carry out all the processes we associate with being alive. Learning about them is like discovering a secret, microscopic world that's responsible for all the wonderful diversity of life we see around us. It's a journey into the very essence of what it means to be alive. For a very long time, nobody knew that cells even existed. They are just too small for our eyes to see on their own. That all changed in the 1600s thanks to a brilliant English scientist named Robert Hooke. He was one of the first people to build a really good microscope, which is a tool that makes tiny things look much bigger. One day, he decided to look at a very thin slice of cork, which comes from the bark of a tree. He was amazed by what he saw. The cork was full of tiny empty boxes like a honeycomb. He called these little boxes cells because they reminded him of the small rooms monks lived in. Robert Hooke had discovered the first cells, but the ones he saw in the cork were not actually alive. They were just the empty walls left behind after the living plant cells had died. The next big discovery came from another curious scientist named Anton van Leeuwenhoek. He lived in the Netherlands and was an expert at making lenses for microscopes. His microscopes were even more powerful than Hooke's, allowing him to see things in incredible detail. He looked at all sorts of things, including pond water, scrapings from his own teeth, and even rainwater. He was completely fascinated by what his lenses revealed. What Leeuwenhoek saw was truly groundbreaking. He discovered a world teeming with tiny, moving creatures that no one had ever seen before. In a single drop of pond water, he saw countless little organisms swimming and darting around. He was so excited that he called them animalcules, which means little animals. These were the first living cells that anyone had ever observed. He wrote many letters to other scientists describing his findings, opening up a whole new field of science. He showed everyone that a hidden, microscopic world was all around us, full of life and wonder. Leeuwenhoek's discovery was a huge step forward. He proved that life existed on a scale far smaller than anyone had ever imagined. His simple, yet powerful microscopes changed science forever. By observing these animalcules, he laid the groundwork for future scientists to understand that cells were not just empty boxes, as Hooke had seen in the dead cork. Instead, they were living, dynamic units that were the foundation of many different organisms. His work inspired generations of scientists to peer deeper into the microscopic world and unlock its secrets. After the amazing discoveries by Hooke and Leeuwenhoek, scientists kept studying the microscopic world. For about 150 years, they gathered more and more information, but a big, unifying idea was still missing. Then, in the 1830s, two German scientists started putting the puzzle pieces together. The first was a botanist named Matthias Schleiden. A botanist is a scientist who studies plants. After looking at countless plant samples under his microscope, he noticed something incredible. Every single part of every plant he looked at was made up of cells. The leaves, the stems, the roots, all of it. Around the same time, another German scientist named Theodor Schwann was studying animals. He was a zoologist, and just like Schleiden, he spent hours looking at animal tissues through a microscope. He examined everything from frog cartilage to muscle fibers. He came to a very similar conclusion as his friend Schleiden. All animals were also made of cells. This was a huge breakthrough. Schleiden and Schwann talked about their findings and realized they had stumbled upon a fundamental principle of life. It didn't matter if it was a plant or an animal. The basic building block was the same. Together, Schleiden and Schwann proposed the first two parts of what we now call the cell theory. First, they stated that all living things are made of one or more cells. Second, they declared that the cell is the most basic unit of life. This powerful idea united the study of plants and animals and gave biology a core concept. It was like discovering that all books, no matter the story, are made of words. It completely changed how scientists thought about living organisms and their structures. The world of biology finally had its foundation. However, there was still one big question left to answer. Where do new cells come from? Many people at the time believed in something called spontaneous generation, the idea that life could just appear out of nowhere. But another German scientist, Rudolf Virchow, settled the debate in 1855. After studying how cells divide, he famously stated, "Omnis cellula e cellula," which is Latin for all cells, come from pre-existing cells. This was the third and final piece of the original cell theory. Cells don't just pop into existence. They are created when other cells divide. The classic cell theory created by Schleiden, Schwann, and Virchow was an incredible starting point, but science didn't stop there. Thanks to even more powerful microscopes and new technology, we have learned so much more about the fascinating world inside each cell. Today, we have what is called the modern cell theory, which adds some very important details. One of the biggest discoveries is that all cells contain genetic material. This material is called DNA, and it acts like a blueprint or a recipe book that tells the cell what to do, how to grow, and when to make copies of itself. Another key part of modern cell theory is that all cells have a basically similar chemical composition and engage in metabolic activities. This means that whether you look at a cell from a human, a mushroom, or a fly, you will find similar molecules like proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. All cells also perform metabolism, which is a fancy word for all the chemical reactions that keep a cell alive. This includes breaking down food to get energy and using that energy to build the parts the cell needs. These processes are fundamental to life and happen in every living cell. Modern science has also taught us that the activity of a whole organism depends on the total activity of its independent cells. Think about running a race. Your muscle cells are contracting and relaxing to move your legs. Your nerve cells are sending signals from your brain, and your lung cells are working to bring in oxygen. You can only run because all of your different cells are working together and doing their specific jobs correctly. When your cells work well, you are healthy. When they don't, it can lead to sickness. This shows just how important each tiny cell really is. From the first glimpse of an empty cork cell to our modern understanding of DNA and metabolism, Our knowledge of cells has grown tremendously. These tiny structures are the basis of everything we consider to be alive. They hold the secrets to growth, energy, heredity, and disease. By studying them, we continue to unlock the mysteries of life itself and find new ways to improve our world. The journey into the cell is a never-ending adventure, with new discoveries waiting just around the corner. The world of the cell truly is a world of wonder.